like they did last series.
So much to play for. Who can hold their nerves? Allegiance, they did the first part of their job earlier on, taking in the win over FlyQuest. Now FlyQuest have left their future in the hands of a G2 squad hungry for their first LAN. JNAP's going to take us all the way down to the other end of the pitch. You see G2 immediately starting to put that pressure on as Allegiance, though, down to the other end of the pitch. They were very good playing end-to-end in our previous series. Can they continue it this time around, or will they get caught out like they have done here? If they want to have any chance in this series, they cannot offer 3 goals like that.
No, easy clear coming out from this one. You see the difference in Seabass there. Trying to not go for that hesitation. He immediately turns back and goes for the contest that he's probably not going to win in the first place. Should have just rotated back and kept the momentum he already had. Getting some boost and try to make that save.
It was the first goal against them that really woke up Allegiance last series. Maybe it'll wake them up this time. So they're going to have to try and make sure that those mistakes simply do not happen against a G2 esports squad that is usually known for being very inconsistent, but this season, it's been much better. They had one off series. That was it. The rest of it has been very strong from them. There's another shot from Allegiance, going to go forward. JNAPS is waiting for the pass. He's going to have to wait a long time for it, though, as Rizzo is out of boost. And that is going to be the cause of it, almost. Turn that one straight in, and for Allegiance, you have to think that they should have done.
That should have been a goal from Allegiance. G2, just neither player deciding what to do there. Easy opportunity for the Allegiance squad, but not able to take that opportunity and make something from it. But for them, at least they're still able to keep some pressure on the offensive side, as Ty Tyler's going to play this past Kronovi.
Over into that corner, going to be the follow-up, going to be on target. But going to be JNAPS who takes it away. Don't usually want to bring up the savior medals, but to get one within 90 seconds kind of shows exactly what Allegiance is trying to do. They're trying to push forward, but they're going to take on a G2 squad that can be so solid in the challenges, and if Allegiance are going to put pressure that much forward, they can't afford to be caught with nobody back.
Well, doing just that is pretty much Allegiance's only chance to win this series. Defense's story, complete opposite, where this G2 squad only offers roughly about 1.5 shots on target per game, or 1.5 goals per game, while Allegiance faces the complete opposite at almost 3.
Yes, 2.9. They obviously managed to drop that down a little bit in their previous series, but it is a lingering fact. Is Kronovi going to get that up high? Only over to Seabass, who has been the defensive brick, the defensive pillar, I should actually say, for Allegiance.
Well, we've already got the brick sock, and we've got the brick wall. So is he the defensive brick pillow?
He is the deployable barrier, is what I will give to him. Put him on him on the pitch, and you expect him to go and get that save. As here's going to be another shot on target. He cannot get to that one. G2 go up by 2 goals.
Another shot coming out just from the pressure of G2. JNAP's doing a good job getting up early and taking that read from Tyler. The 50-50 just going straight up and in favor. Kronovi's going to be the first one there and puts it on net.
It's going to be a major fact of defense for Allegiance. The fact that they just need to calm themselves down. They are very... It seems like they've come into this week expecting themselves to be able to play at speed all the time. But if G2 are given time to try and put in that siege, they can definitely catch them out, as there is another shot. Going to be painstakingly close for Allegiance turning in. It is the second one for them, and now G2 still holding on to that 2-goal lead. Allegiance trying to set up their opportunity. Low boost, as we can see from Illusion, is going to make it very difficult for him to keep that pressure up. So instead, Ty comes straight in. He's handed that one straight to Kronovi. Kronovi going to put that one up high, and Lucian cannot get there. The follow-up from Rizzo. There is the popcorn.
That is just aggravating. G2 doing the exact same thing that Allegiance just tried to do to them. 2 players up on defense on that back wall. Bounces right in front of the net, but the difference, G2's got someone there to take the shot. Rizzo puts an easy shot on the left side. We get to see that popcorn explode all over again.
You almost look disappointed by that fact, though.
It reminds me of that mid-season mayhem when Carpet just ate popcorn the whole time.
Well, it was provided to us.
I mean, he also made the keyboard super sticky, and it was terrible.
The cast of him just looking over him, just going, yeah, can't throw it to him right now. He is, he's got his mouth full. Ball going to be up high yet again. G2 looking solid on their rotations, and they're going to have to keep going. So the pass straight into Mel Kronovi, almost gets the block shot. Need to find something very quickly from Allegiance. They have got time to turn this around, but they still need to find a way through. And that shooting accuracy has to be infinitely better. They want to try and break down G2's solid lead. Back over into the corner. Rizzo flicks it into the middle. He's got options. Want to see this rotation sorted out a little bit on the side of Allegiance. They are all over the shop, and they've been second to everything when it comes to a rush-down scenario. Seabass and Lucian gonna play it, but it's not convincing. JNaps can tap that down, cannot get there for the second touch.
Well, as the ball plays back in mid, Kenobi does a pretty good job playing that above net. Does get past one defender. The pressure from G2 relentless as always, as you mentioned, just one after another able to get there in time. Even when they don't, usually it's Rizzo nowadays on that back wall. He's not afraid to rotate back and be that last man to buy them some time. Shot plays inside. Allegiance going to play it across and sets up an opportunity for Allegiance to take a shot.
Final 20 seconds, and it will be an impossible task at this point for Allegiance to get back into the game. So, Tyler, we know that he's in the in-game comms leader. He's going to have to be. They have got their backs against the wall against a solid G2 squad. The first game is going to go against them, but they're going to have to try and pick it up in game number 2.
Yeah, we've been trying to talk to this Kenobi team and the rest about what are the changes they've been going through in this offseason, what's allowing them to finally get some of that consistency. And a lot of it just simply has to do with putting in the work and the effort. A lot of scrims coming out from these guys, putting in the practice and the time, and it's paying off. We're finally starting to see that consistent G2 that we expected to see, seasons ago.
Yeah, this is a case of we're going to be testing something different from them this week, which is something we've never seen from this squad, the ability to play with pressure. Every single time the pressure has been on them, they have had a tendency to crumble. I feel like having Allegiance be their first game this week is probably the best thing for them if they can take the win as is expected of them. But in general for G2, the rotation has been more solid. Everything is definitely more organized. But what they're going to do when that organization is thrown into chaos, when the pressure is on, when it starts to panic, will be the interesting question. But for the time being, they cannot afford to overlook Allegiance. No, that is a squad that needs to win.
No, Allegiance has shown that they were, earlier this day, where a lot of us all predicted, like, okay, minus wave, we're like, okay, FlyQuest has got this because of the stuff we've seen in the past, but there's something about this week 5 where these teams really start to wake up and start to flourish in what their true capability is. And we've seen that actually from Allegiance throughout. It's just they haven't gotten to that X factor, that next step that really allows them to secure that win. They finally got off that hump is off their back. They're finally able to bring it through. It's just now they go against an even stronger G2 squad, and it's just, even though, like you mentioned, when they were on that back, like, it was ugly. Like, Rizzo and Kenobi were just sitting there like, you want it? Or do you? No. Okay, neither of us. And then Allegiance just misses. So the opportunities are there. They just need to apply that pressure.
Well, we're going to find out if they can finally start to find their targets, find the accuracy that they're going to need. They want to take this series against G2. Put that pressure on the top 6, as is so desperately needed. Here's a Lucian over in that corner. There's going to be no follow-up. They already played 2 players over there. Tyler, very brave man to be going for that ball. He had to win it, otherwise G2 are going to be through on net. But as we've seen from Allegiance this week, they are not scared to take a risk or two. That means that they get to hold themselves in the RLCS.
Also makes them extremely dangerous. Teams that go for those risks are just, a lot of the top tier players create this expectation of, okay, they're not going to go for that challenge because it's way too risky. They're going to play it a little bit safer. But when these teams throw that out the window, man, does it make them dangerous to play against.
See passing plays starting to develop in the middle for G2. They're going to need to try and move those a bit closer to the Allegiance net. They really want to test that defense. There's going to be a miss. Tyler going to be in a bad position to try and play this ball. And Illusion was still mispositioned. Allegiance, the defense just crumbled.
All because of that one right there by Seabass. He's kind of been their last-ditch effort and helped them out, but all it takes is one mistake. 2 G2 players just ready to punish that one in. They shadow it all the way to the net and just put a body in the way.
Sorry, Lucian just sort of stop on the big boosts, hoping, please, Boost, just turn up. I'll be your friend. And let me go and save the ball. But unfortunately, it did not work out like that.
Just whispering nice things to it. Like, come on, you can do it. Please.
JNap's going to leave that one for Kenobi. Now over in the corner. Both players choosing to leave it. Instead, they're going to allow Allegiance to play. Actually, a kind of smart decision considering Allegiance just powered the ball straight back at them. They're going to need to be a bit smarter with possession. They want a solid shot at this game.
Something G2's always been pretty strong at is their decision-making in open space.
Now back over into the corner. Allegiance still trailing by 1 goal. 90 seconds now down in this matchup. A big clear there from Rizzo. The half volley from the wall. And that is a big mistake from Tyner. Oh no, Allegiance. You need to pick this back up because this is a shattered team.
Big clear from little baby Rizzo, playing that all the way down to the middle of the field. But that mistake, as soon as he makes that trap, like there's no follow-up from it. He doesn't maintain possession. He doesn't do anything with it. He just gives it away for a shot on target.
Need to wake up, and they need to wake up quickly. It's turning it into a bit of a nightmare right now for Allegiance, as they cannot afford to go down 2 games to 0. That would put so much work for them to have to do. There's going to be another shot, going to go off the post. Opportunity for Tyler. He gets over to Seabass. Seabass plays it early. He's got Lucian in the background to come and help him out. But JNAPS, once again, one of the people that you trust the most to come off that back wall and make solid contact with the ball. Does it yet again, and he's going to be required for another long clear. Allegiance trying to just break down G2, but every single time they seem to think, okay, we've got an opportunity to start pushing this ball forward. G2 are finding the gaps in the rotation, pushing it towards them, and not allowing Allegiance to get themselves settled in offense.
Yeah, the big difference, too, is with the way G2's making these touches. Some of those chips are opportunities for this Allegiance team to challenge, but the difference is rather than just leaving it for their teammate, the individual player made the first touch is also following it up. So it's creating these opportunities and allowing the other teammates to not have to commit to something extra. Demo play is something that Allegiance definitely could take advantage of, just clearing out those rotations altogether, buying some time. They're going to play this one back down into the midfield.
2 minutes remaining, and Allegiance need 2 goals in order to avoid the 2-0 lead. Spot the number of the day right there. It's Tyler, not Tyler. They try and play it long. Rizzo with the scuffed hit, going to allow Lucian, but he tries to play it early. I don't think he even had a player to aim for. Allegiance starting to panic with their offense. They need to try and find a way through. Get those passing plays that we saw in game number 1 against FlyQuest. But this is a desperate situation.
Yeah, really good play as well from Rizzo over the top here. The ball, just see Tyler trying to come down. Plays it right over the top. Almost makes the last-ditch effort. A good attempt. But Rizzo did have the awareness to pop it over the top. Rizzo's slow.
Just been scoring more and more every single week. And it has been a difference that we have seen in G2 in the case of that rotation is so much better than it was last season. It really was a case of, okay, G2's in no defense. How long until they double commit? But now that they've got all these players so much further spread out, then they can just look for each other.
Yeah, unfortunately here, you're starting to see some server issues from the looks of it. But in this situation, they got to play on, as we are a little bit too far in the match.
I really miss when Team Rocket had that little symbol as an emote.
It's pretty
best.
solid.
I don't understand why they ever got rid of it from my face. I would infinitely prefer the other one.
I mean, both have their uses. I feel like being able to use your face.
One is triangle, one of them is a circle. Rizzo now is going to take us down to the other end of the pitch, but does get challenged by Seabass. 1 minute remaining, still 2 goals separating these squads. So we play this middle, but nobody on the side of Allegiance is in a position available to run towards the ball. It's a problem that they had against FlyQuest as well, just too close to the ball at all times, not allowing themselves any real shooting opportunities. JNAPS, ball up high. He's going to go up to Lucian, who's going to look for Tyler. Going to be very difficult to play, but he has managed to do so. Kronovi keeps that against all, but Tyler has the ability to turn it around. 33 seconds remaining. It is 1 goal separating them.
This seems to be a common issue as well with G2. They get this big lead, and then they just kind of fall off. Instead of maintaining that pressure and continuing on with what allows them to play in the first place, they spread the field really wide. They make these soft touches inside, but they don't apply the pressure with it, which is what makes them so strong. It just gives these opportunities for Allegiance. And now they're back within 1 with only 25 seconds left on the clock.
I love that Rizzo didn't go for boost off that kickoff, instead leaving himself in the goal, not taking any unnecessary risks. JNAPS and G2 just want the ball out of their half. Allegiance will desperately look for 1 more goal to try and force the overtime as Kronovi tries to take that one up high. Follow up, Lucian will be second to JNAPS. Tyler hasn't got options to look for. Kronovi trying to take away Seabass. Seabass with the side flip as well. Now just has to hit the floor, and it will. G2 are going to go 2-0 up in the series.
Huge for them and for the ability to get a better win percentage. Obviously, we talked about how needing those wins for tie purposes, and in their match later in the day, if they don't get that win, it's going to be a very crucial situation. So for them to try and get a sweep here pays dividends down later on.
Yep, certainly does. G2 currently 2-0 up, and they're starting to get better and better, as from what I'm seeing of them. Starting to warm up more and more. Remember, they have got a game later on, a potentially crucial game against Ghost Gaming, which will be our 5th match up on today. So there's a lot to stick around for. I do apologize to all the Europeans out there. Just going, oh, we got like... Actually, it's Sunday tomorrow. They ain't got work. You've got no excuses. Stay up.
Just sit and watch,
There's no complaints anymore. Stay up, watch the Rocket League, and enjoy it.
Right. As for Allegiance on the other side, obviously they're just trying to get a win, and they have been looking a lot different than what we saw earlier today. Very passive, way slower, just not confident in any of their touches. And it's one of those situations where you think it'd be the complete opposite, where yes, they may leave a lot of stuff on the back end open, and we saw that very early on, but they've got nothing to lose. It's either all or nothing. Like, you either win or you're out. Like, you're going down into the promotion tournament. So for them, like, they need to put it all on the line here.
Maybe it's a case of, because remember last season we had teams playing one after another. So they played one game, they'd immediately play themselves a second one. If we were still in that, I think Allegiance would be playing better, because right now they've had the opportunity. They got the win against FlyQuest, and then they had to stop. Then they had to think, and they went, okay, we have got some work to do here, boys, but we managed to get most of the way there.
They got in their own heads, and they're just like, wait, what did we just do? Oh, no.
Oh, we kept the heartbeat going, and even if we go into like a sports philosophy. Wow, I did a sports coaching degree, and I can't remember these words. I'm worse than Carpet with his engineering degree. But it's a case of adrenaline has a time limit, and it also has a finite amount. So maybe they might have used up a little bit too much earlier, but they've got to try and find a way now of bringing themselves back in and making sure the communication's correct and get themselves back into the mindset they had against FlyQuest.
Yeah, after being at that much of a high.
It's physiology, Lawler. It's physiology. That's the word.
Figured it out, guys. You figured it out. But for them to be on that big of a high and then have to come back down and then go back up to it is not easy. So for them, they just got to get the ball rolling, apply that pressure. You saw what happened on G2 when the defense was on their back heels. So let's see if they can do it here. Do or die moment for Allegiance. Game number 3, and G2 is going to save it off the back.
Great save. But now an opportunity to go the other end, but Illusion, he hasn't made good contact. G2 have the opportunity to turn this back around. Rizzo turning into such a solid ball carrier this season.
That just looks like a bot game for about 5 seconds.
It was a little bit rough, but Allegiance will just be happy to not have conceded. Now they can turn this down to the other end of the pitch as we immediately transition, and JNaps will take the shot, take the goal, and Allegiance, it is going to be all to do yet again.
Exactly what I was talking about right before this match, about how when you send everybody, you apply the pressure, kind of a no-regret situation. You do leave the ability for a quick counterattack and an open field down because all 3 players are up. Making it too easy on them, guys. Got to make sure you're in the way of those.
I don't even think it's down to a way that they're trying to play. It just is something that Allegiance tends to do. The third man for them is always just in front of the goal line. I mean, not the goal line, the halfway line. So all G2 really have to do is play a lofted ball and leave a JNaps, leave a Rizzo towards the midfield, and they can immediately try and turn around and outpace this Allegiance squad.
Kenobi obviously not making it easy with his disrupting playstyle. You see that again there. Just making use of everywhere on the pitch. JNaps not able to get the touch, kind of throws away the possession. Now a chance for Allegiance. Stopped out by G2 as they're going to slow it down and control that pace again. JNaps decides to play it across for a shot, but missed out and played out by Illusion. He's going to take some boost and deny them from that. He needs to get back quick. He decides to go for the demo instead and actually frees up everything for this one. Good heads-up play from Illusion.
G2 are getting more and more aggressive with their rotation right now. In fact, sometimes it doesn't even resemble a rotation. It is just them trying to predict where Allegiance is going to try and play it, which is probably a smart idea. Allegiance right now, one of the big complaints is the fact that they don't quite know how to control the ball when they need to. Instead, they always have those tap-out defensive plays, and it allows Allegiance just to get closer and closer and try and just predict and immediately take the ball away.
Yeah, we did see that quite a bit, where as soon as they got the ball, they just hit it. I mean, G2 purposely backed off, which was really smart play on their end, but that gives Allegiance time. They should be able to be aware of, okay, well, they're backed off. Let's control it a little bit. Let's dribble it a little bit. Give them some time. You saw FlyQuest do that quite a bit in their series today.
JNaps takes control. Oh, if the landing was just a little bit better, could have continued on with the dribble, but still got there in time for the challenge. Then another long ball played. Allegiance, they need to get it a little bit closer. They can be more direct with those passing plays. Otherwise, they're going to continue to waste more and more time. Crow takes the shot off the backboard. Trying to go for the setup, but nobody around. G2 recognizing their 1-goal lead. No real need to overcommit as there's another shot. Tyler coming in off that sidewall. Kronovi does get beat, but leaves it over to Jane Epps. Seabass now behind, the pass back straight over to him. It was a difficult shot to play, but still managed to do it. G2 will be pressured, they will be challenged, but they get it away pretty comfortably. The Legion struggling to put on waves of offense, and now they might struggle to put on waves of defense, but unfortunately for G2, 2 players commit to the side, and it will be Rizzo who deals with the shot.
Again, Rizzo coming up clutch on defense. 2 players up for G2 and a counterattack quick from Legions. That's their bread and butter they need to capitalize on. They just haven't been able to find it. Because usually after one shot, it's immediately transitioned back downfield. They need to find a way to have one of those players move up and just stay a little bit more patient at the midfield. So if they don't make the shot, they can apply that pressure consistently.
Now Allegiance have to find themselves a way out from this siege. There's more time being wasted. They've got 90 seconds to save their RLCS championship hopes. And that's going to be a shot on target. Almost hits the post. The Legions breathe a sigh of relief, pick up the boost, get a hold of the ball. It is time to take it to the other end of the pitch. But G2 are unrelenting in their offensive pressure. The Legions still trying to play it away. They managed to get it. Illusion misses the shot. Rizzo was already on the rotation back. But just not enough coming out from Allegiance, and G2 continuously pressuring and continuously challenging in that midfield. Allegiance struggling to get any sort of offensive pressure going.
You're talking 3 shots to 9, and it's telling the story here quite well. Just G2 shutting it down and putting shot after shot on net. But credit needs to go to Allegiance. They've been able to hold it off for this long, still keeping it within 1. With only 35 seconds left on the clock.
A shot played over by G2. They can continue to put the pressure forward. There's a shot from Kronovi, forcing multiple players to try and save. Now Seabass tries to go for the carry, but once again, just too loose. G2 would love to put this away with one more goal. The ball played. Look, Seabass plays it down. 2 players committed from Allegiance. The opportunity was right there. Unfortunately, it was right there in front of 2 of them. And they both donned the hero cape, and they couldn't turn it in. G2 will have to try and clear this away. But for Allegiance, it could come down to that one moment. They are down into 7th place, and they will be out from this season's championship.
Still a chance, obviously, next week, joining Renegades. But for G2, just doing whatever they can to hold it off. And a lot of it, we mentioned it very closely at the end of match number 2, where once they get that comfortable lead, they back off and they create opportunities. This team did not allow that to happen this game. They applied that pressure. They put on plenty of shots. They kept that pressure going, and eventually led them to a win. But Allegiance almost had it. So very close with that one touch, just trying to make it happen as both players on their team. And instead of just being unselfish and letting the one take it, it kind of gets them tripped up and they miss it out.
I think it was, I was more surprised than anyone else, I think, for that, because we have not seen Allegiance really go for those passing plays at all this series. It was the first one they went for. It worked out brilliantly. It completely caught G2 out, but the finish was not quite there. And in Rocket League and in the RLCS, it's the small things like that that really make the difference.
Yeah, really, really difficult. It comes down to those, and hopefully they don't let that plague them going in. Like, it's kind of a what-if situation, and you can't let that stuff stop you. They obviously performed very well today. They showed that they compete, and best of luck to them going forward.
Yeah, certainly going to have a good shot at that one. G2, though, have now set up that big blockbuster match against Ghost. And to talk about how they managed to do that, we're going to hand it over to the desk and the analysts.
G2 starting off exactly how they want to, getting a sweep over Allegiance 3-0. We were talking about how good a victory would be for them, but the fact that they got a sweep, it has to be huge for them and their confidence. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high-performance replay from that matchup as G2 a sweep. All victories for them so far.
Yeah, they really stepped up. They needed to get this series to really control their own fate. They did exactly that, 3-0. And you know, the FlyQuest boys are ecstatic now that they're guaranteed top 6 with that G2 victory. But really, G2 controlled every aspect of this matchup.
They absolutely did. They outshot them nearly 2-1, outscored them 7-2. Just complete domination. It felt like on all sides of the ball. It was only one game where we saw Allegiance at game 2 where they actually really even had a chance of taking the victory there. And at the end of game 3, I mean, it was a 1-0 game, but still, G2 just in so much control. And it has to be a heartbreaker there at the end, that 17 seconds where they had the opportunity to score, blocked themselves basically. But G2 able to get the win here, and you heard them say it over there, they've set us up for that monumental game later on today.